Cool. So basically, that's what's cool with sound devices. They're doing the same thing. Shure hasn't done that. I don't believe they've done that yet. Neither has Sennheiser, but it's fine because they are more production. They're both like live event concert based. It's really not a need, but it's cool to see. I think sound devices are. It's
American-made company, really cool group of people too. I
yeah,
met
sound
some
devices.
at NAB, and they're cool people, man. And they know what they're doing. They're like audio scientists, just talking about like all these frequency waves are just like super thin and catching. It's like, okay.
I think all I could say is because I'm not bad. I mean, I do film projects, but all I could say is just using them. It's just a solid, robust product. Sounds freaking incredible. If you're a Zoom user, like Zoom recording devices, like this will just blow you away. It's just night and day difference. It's not even comparable between Zoom.
Even like 32-bit float, F8N Pro, Zoom, like it's still much better than that.
Because the preamps are just solid on this thing. For the Zoom, I know Zooms are great. We use Zooms. You know, come on, cheap, easy. I've had Zooms die on me though, so I'll carry 2 Zooms.
Yeah.
So like when I've had them die. I've had them in cold weather. Again, it's not that cold in California, but I've had them like, dude, it's like, cold winter day. It's 45 degrees, and you're doing an early morning shoot. I've had them. It's just they'd be stupid. They're like, oh, we don't want to work anymore. I'm like, really? Damn it. Great, fantastic. But sound devices, solid. You could just tell, dude. You pick them up. It's like you could tell this is a real tool.
And, and I heard that their customer service is incredible as well. And
I believe that.
they tackle a bunch of issues. And this isn't sponsored by Sound Devices, but just talking about cool products.
Yeah.
So.
This is what I want to talk about. But yeah, sound device. They are the industry standard for even film and commercial film. They are the industry standard, 100%. So now going to Shure and Sennheiser. So what happened this year earlier, like maybe 2 months ago, Sennheiser revealed a wireless system, which is new. You could do 32 by 32 each way. So you could do transmit and receive. So that means on one rack U, you could have 32 receive and 32 transmit. And then they have a combo body pack where you basically have the mic and the earpiece on the same body pack.
Nice.
So
are you talking about 32 separate units or 32-bit float?
No, I'm sorry, 32 channels of wireless.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem.
32 channels of wireless.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, so you could do 32 basically wireless mics and 32 IEM body packs off of one U unit, which is impressive. So with that being said, we'll see. So what's great about Sennheiser and Shure, because the new Shure Axiom IM came out, is they already tested all these products. They've already burned them in. I know I want to say VMAs, they had the Shure IEM before it was released, the new Axiom one, and they had flawless performance. I know the Sennheiser one, they're big in Europe. It's already been tested and proven. So that's cool. I'm excited to see it get on market. The Sennheiser options obviously have 32 by 32 channels, only Dante or Matty. There's no analog connectors. It's just there's nothing to transport that analog in an efficient analog manner, so it will be digital. But they're really excited. I think it's cool. I think people don't realize how important it is to save truck space and to be like, look at a band, like you could do a theater act off a little freaking rack.
That's incredible.
And let's take this convo 4 months back. Before Sennheiser, again, I haven't tried the Sennheiser. I don't think it's technically released, but I could be wrong. But think about this. Just 3 or 4 months ago, for you to do 32 by 32, let's just use Shure for an example. That would mean you need 8 1U Axiom receivers, which is 8 U's rack space. And you would need 16U of Shure PSM 1000, which is 16U. So you need 24U. 24U rack is from the floor to here.
Yeah.
So you need all that, and Sennheiser now put in a unit like this.
That's incredible, man.
It is. So, frequency coordination is its own combo. It's always, now you're dealing with, we talk about legal authority, you deal with the FCC, there's a lot of stipulations, but just put that aside. Just what they did. You went from 24U, a rack from the floor here, to this.
Yeah.
1U is 1.75 inch, so 1.75 high. Crazy. Impressive.
Incredible.
Incredible how technology. It's beautiful. It's incredible.
Just like the memory cards,
Oh
It used to
yeah.
be 256 megabytes or whatever, and now you get a terabyte in a little small.
Don't they have micro
SDXC.
SD cards that are terabyte?
Yeah.
Is
It's
that there?
incredible. How do you get a terabyte in that? It's incredible.
And they did it. So I think there's a lot of cool things in wireless. I will say this. Good wireless or high performing wireless is always going to cost money. Like these tentacles you have, they ain't cheap. Like bro, it's not a $50 device. You paid premium for it. But I think that's the problem. I think people are like, okay, what's the best budget wireless? And I'll be real, it doesn't exist. It's like my thing is, it's like you have to play within your field. You're doing touring, you're doing Broadway, you do red carpets. Sure, Axiom, Sennheiser, maybe sound devices. You have to play in that league.
Yeah.
But you do church events, you do something else. You could be in the QLXD, lower end stuff, SLXD. It's just you play with your environment. You play. You have to. Again, you have some beautiful cameras, FX30s, but you don't have Arri Alexas. So it's like why is that? It's like again, I think you could afford it. Yeah, but at the same time, it's too much rig for what you do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that's
It'd be beautiful to have the slow motion,
Oh, yeah.
and all that. No, man, it's just I interviewed Ari, which was really cool.
That's
but
awesome.
That's about as close as I got to one of the cameras,
But I think that's where people get, I don't know, after doing this for so long, I'm at the point where I do want to maximize profit and optimal gear, and I think you really should use gear at the level you're at. I think that's how people are like, oh, I can't afford this. I'm like, well, maybe you should just teeter up there, You start maybe with an ace. Yeah.
If you're using it, if you're gonna let it sit and collect dust,
Yeah.
then don't get it.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna use it, it's gonna help you with your business, of course.
My first camera was a Canon. My first cinema camera was a Canon C100 Mark II, and I loved it because I was able to grow into it. Because when I first got it out of the box, and this thing broken, I was like, no, it's not the camera, it's me. But I think you have to know yourself and know if you could grow into the gear. I'm all for growing into the gear. I think it'll make you better. But also at the same time, like I didn't go buy an Alexa because I'm like, okay, that's just that's just. So I think that's the same thing. You could start with A7. You got FX30s and they have FX6s. You go up the ladder. Go to Venice, maybe Sony Venice. That's a nice camera. But like what we got on this topic, we're on cameras now. But going back to sound devices, I think in wireless, if it all comes together with them with their half rack Nexus and their recorder's solid, but if that all comes together as they told me on NAMM show, what a killer combo. Killer freaking combo.
Yeah.
Just dude, like I'm telling you, the thing is the size of this Dude, it's not gonna be bigger than that. Yeah, because think about the sound devices recorder. Just imagine that. Imagine a boxed out version of this.
Yeah, sideways.
16 channels.
It's just incredible, man.
Insane.
And inspiring.
Yeah, absolutely. And now going to electrosonics. Obviously, you mentioned electro. I'll be real, I don't use them that often, but incredible hardware. They are the broadcast industry standard. We'll see if they get dethroned, but they are phase coherent and incredible devices. But it's going to be interesting to see where they stand because they are really broadcast heavy, and they really haven't made too many pushes into live events. And I don't know if they'll get dethroned by Nexus. I will say this: everyone's on the same page. It's all these guys. Again, I only know so many people at Shure and all these companies. I don't know them that well, but they all know each other.
Yeah, they all do.
Let's be
for
real.
sure. Yeah.
They've all. It's a small. Let's be real. Think about it. You make wireless microphones. That's such a small niche.
Yeah.
Small. They all know each other. They're all friends in a good way. They all help each other out.
Yeah.
So it's not like, I'll be real, like Sennheiser probably knew the IAMs from Shure were coming out before. Like they all know each other.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I'm curious to see what's gonna happen.
When do you think you'll know?
About
6
what?
months about whether electronics is going to be dethroned. Nexus, or...
I say it's going to be a year or two.
Yeah.
Well, it won't be quick. The thing is, people made a lot of investment with electro. They're not just going to dump it for no reason. But I will say this: when I was told about the Shure IEMs, the first batch of the new Accent IEMs are already sold out. It hasn't even released yet. I believe for shipping dates end of December, sometime December. And again, I could be wrong. Again, I'm not the I keep up with it. I do my best, but it's like, December, January, whatever. But I'm around there, I'm like within a 30-day window, But but I believe the first batch is already sold out, already accounted for. And from let's be real, like we all know who those companies are, the big touring companies, big AV companies. So they already put their hands on it. The Axiom IEM, what's cool, they're doing the same thing as going back to Sound Devices, it's doing it comes preloaded with 4 or 8 channels of wireless, and then you pay to upgrade the unit to blocks of 4. So that's how you get 32 channels. I think you have to buy it with 4 or 8 as a base. Then you upgrade to 12, 16. And what's cool is you can share the upgrades between other devices. And Shure did the same with the new Axiom IEM. I believe it's 8 channels of transmit. And so basically what's cool is on your portal you could buy extra channels. So I think base comes with 2 or 4. I forget. But you buy them in blocks of 2 or 4, I believe. And what's cool, that you can trade them, you could transfer them. So like, depending on if you're on a show or whatever, you need more channels, and your technician that owns more channels, you could transfer the channels to that device, and through a web portal and everything, super easy. They said that's not up and running yet, but that's as they get as things progress, that's what's going to lend itself to. So it's cool.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm all for it. Everyone hates subscription-based. I love it. Pro Presenter is the software we use. Thank God they finally went subscription-based. I know a lot of people hate that, but Pro Presenter is basically PowerPoint on steroids.
Yeah.
And we use it a lot for production along with Resolume. And I'm happy when subscription-based, because we have like 20 servers at Ravel, and it just sucks buying subscriptions for all of them. I'm sorry, like year-long plans.
Okay.
Versus now it's like we have to light all of them for a month. We just pay, it's a nominal fee. It's like $30 a server.
Yeah.
So and then we just shut it off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so like before, we had to pay the whole year.
Right.
So that kind of sucks. You're like, oh crap. Because with vMix, they do you can do monthly, $50 a month, and some people complain still, but to me it's a steal, because like, especially if you're in production, you have to light up 6 machines. Pay like $300.
Yeah.
Versus before, you have to pay like almost $3-4 grand for the year. Now you just pay monthly. It's like any auto. We have AutoCAD, bro. There's AutoCAD. I have a year long. I'm AutoCAD. I use it throughout the year, but dude, there's months I turn it off. I'm like, I don't need it I'm in Croatia for a month. I don't need it. That's what's nice. I don't think people realize the flexibility is in your hand with it. And we'll see. Resolume's the software we use, and I think I would like to see that go subscription based, because there's times like, dude, there'll be a 2-3 month period we don't use it. I'm like, it'd be cool. I'm always down to pocket the money, for no reason. It's just sitting there.
Yeah.
Well, that gives you flexibility, because like you might need 1 machine, but then you need 10, and then it was tough when you need 10, because then you have to buy 10 year-long subscriptions for 1 weekend.
Yeah.
And you're like, shit. And so it's like, it's hard, it's. It
makes it better for smaller projects,
it helps you scale. The scalability is there.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people want to be fluid, want to be scalable. Obviously, we'll have those people that are always against that. Those people you meet, they're like, oh, I can't afford Adobe Creative Cloud. And I'm like, maybe you shouldn't be using it. I mean, I'm sorry, it's like, for $50, this is steal. So, what are you editing? Are you editing on DaVinci now?
Final Cut Pro.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So, are you anti-Adobe, or no?
No, I'm good with Adobe, but anytime I was using Premiere Pro, my colors would just be I'd
blown out.
Render and export in a certain color pattern. I'd screenshot it.
Yeah.
And I'd export, find the same frame, and it's like green or it's blue, and it's just.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something with my expert settings or whatever, and that was like 3 or 4 years ago. And also, I'm super fast at Final Cut.
Yeah.
I'm jammed, and I'm so fast. And on Premiere, I'm like pretty slow.
Yeah. Speed kills, and I think that's what people don't realize. Like, people see sometimes my software selection on things, like, oh, you did that on Excel. I'm like, dude, like, I'm just so fast on it.
Yeah.
Or same thing on AutoCAD. I've been an AutoCAD user for over a decade now.
Nice.
And so, dude, like, I could just whip stuff out.
Yeah.
I could, especially something that's not polished, I could just crank it out.
Nice.
Versus on other things, like, you put me on SketchUp, I'm slow.
Yeah.
All these other ones, even Vectorworks, I'm slow. But dude, AutoCAD, like, I'll just knock it out for you.
Solid.
Yeah. So, and I think like what's cool is like what I might do is I found some on Fiverr. I found some like I guess AutoCAD, Fiverr, So basically, I think what I'll do to speed up my time is I'll just knock out a sketch, and I'll send it to them to polish it, or I'll send them. They put dimension this out, so I don't have to do it. 'Cause it takes time, you got to drag the dimensions, whatever, But it's dude, like I think speed kills, and it's always gonna kill. Dude, I think I love. 100%. I think, dude, there's so many videographers I meet. Mark Toya, he passed away, but he was one of my favorite directors. He was sponsored by Red Digital Cinema, and I love his videos. And dude, he would knock stuff out in 24 to 48 hours, full commercials. And I think there's something to be said about that. Get it done and get it over with.
Sure,
Don't linger it. Get it done. Because it's gonna. The problem is when you have too much stuff on your brain, I feel it takes up your capacity. I think you have to finish ideas and let them get done and dusted and move on to the next one. Or else you clog your brain, because now if he didn't do that, he'd be thinking about that project while shooting the other one.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to edit this, and now he's losing focus on this one.
Yeah.
Get it done and get it over with.
Yeah.
Get it done.
Be in the moment.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so you get creative in the moment too.
And I think that's the problem with videographers. I meet so many that drop the ball with me. It's just they just won't get shit done. They linger too long. I'm like, people ask me what's my advice. Hurry the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like,
Get it done.
get it over with. Literally, do it now. Okay, dude. Honestly, I'll say this, dude. I've sent stuff because there's a part of me that's a perfectionist, but I've learned to let go in certain areas. Like, I'll send unpolished Excel sheets where it's just raw numbers, and what's crazy is when I get, oh, this is so awesome, I'm like, damn, dude, I just like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And so I think there's something to be said, like, you have to know where to spend your time. So, like, dude, like, don't polish something that doesn't need polished. There's plenty of internal PowerPoints I had on the Meta project where it's just white on black, but it's internal.
Yeah.
Fuck on, they don't need no templates. They literally just need to know like X, Y, and Z. They were happy it was on a PowerPoint.
Yeah.
But it's like there's no need for me. Oh, let me change the color. Like, I don't have time for that, But now, example, if I knew it was going to get sent up the ladder, then
Yeah. Of course, then you'd have to.
yeah,
See if we could change ISO while
yeah, absolutely. Beautiful. I love this app.